At 18, Toronto Raptors president Masai Ujiri left his home in Nigeria to play college basketball in the United States. Today, he is the first African president of a major North American sports team. But he certainly hasn't forgotten where he comes from. And the new documentary, Giants of Africa, captures how he's putting the power of basketball to work for youth. We are very pleased to welcome him to the agenda for more on the state of African and Canadian basketball. Welcome.
Thank you.
So fantastic to have you here.
Thank you.
My first big question, I have lots of questions to get into. My husband and I have been having an argument about the origins of your name. So he's from Ghana, I'm from Uganda, and he says that he's convinced that you have roots to East Africa. True or false?
True. Oh, so my mom is Kenyan. A lot of people don't know that. My dad is Nigerian, my mom is Kenyan. My parents met in school in England, when they were in school in England. And my mom is not Masai, my mom is from Machakos. But she was, they were both obsessed with the name Masai, and my dad really liked it. And so I got the special name.
That's fantastic. Well, now that means that my husband wins, but I guess everybody's trying to claim you, right? Like when President Obama came, it's like, oh, he's from Africa, he's one of us, right?
I don't know about all of that, but...
So it's a big week for you. Giants of Africa was selected to screen at TIFF. I want to show a clip, and then we're going to talk more about it.
Basketball is going to take me somewhere.
Does everybody understand me? You have to make a difference in this country. We all have to make a difference.
I come back in the morning, he's there. I come back in the afternoon, he's there. And where does this guy stay? And they said he doesn't really have a place to stay.
Our continent is going to be great. I hope I'm alive when it is.
It's really about the passion that these young people have for life.
We're here at camp, but we're growing much more than just our basketball games.
All the way up, like Mandela.
Watching the documentary, a few times I had to stop because I got really emotional. What was it like the first time that you saw it after it was done?
Yeah, even talking about the first time, I get like, you get goosebumps every time you see it. It's incredible. And I don't know sometimes if it's just viewing something on screen or if it's because of being close to the kids. But it's emotional, you know, there's so much that you pour into it and you feel for it. To me, just seeing those kids is about the youth, and I get goosebumps. I feel it, you know, like in my bones, because I was a kid just like them, you know, like I grew up in Africa. I experienced like exactly what they're experiencing. And it doesn't mean, you and I talked about it before, it doesn't mean suffering really. It means this is how we grew up, you know, and we were happy. Whether you had it or you didn't have it, you were just happy growing up, you know, like this is the environment that we grew up in. You just need some kind of opportunity. So yeah, watching it is sometimes emotional.
And speaking of opportunity, basketball has brought you so many opportunities. I want to talk more about your relationship with basketball, but with Giants of Africa. You originally started it as a basketball camp in 2003, and you started it in Nigeria, and now it's a movie, it's going to be screened around the world. Why did you start the camp in the first place?
You know, I was made director of Basketball Without Borders, and this is where the NBA brings 100 kids to South Africa and brings NBA coaches, NBA players, and we teach them basic fundamentals of the game. Do a lot of community events, and it inspired me to go back and go to my own country and do the same thing. And when I did it in Nigeria, sometimes when you're a scout, those times it was about going and finding the next talent, and you're excited, and who has the longest arms, and who is the most intriguing player, who can play in the NBA, who's the next Hakeem. And then
Hakeem Olajuwon,
you know, so and then all of a sudden, you know, like years go by, 1, 2, 3, 4 years, and you start thinking, okay, a lot of kids you've helped to go to school in the States, some to play professionally. What happens to those kids that don't? You know, what happens to the kids that played basketball but are not talented enough to move on. And that became, like my inner passion, to teach these kids to prepare for life, because sometimes I didn't make the NBA. I had to be prepared for life. And what are those basic things that you need? And whether it's honesty, respect to people, and knowing how to shake somebody's hand when you talk to him, washing your hands after you play, respect for women, health awareness, all those little things are so needed. And so starting the camp 13 years ago, I decided that this was important. And then it grows into how many countries can you go to, where can you make a difference. I wanted to go to my mom's country, so after Nigeria I went to Kenya, and then it started growing slowly, and we're still young, very, very young, but you can see the effect it's having on young youth that play the game of basketball and even more.
I find it interesting that you do this in your off time, like on your summer vacation. Why?
Don't tell my wife, please. Please don't air this part. It's remarkable, because she knows, my family knows, they come for the first part of it. And it's just that month that, for 13 years, I've just said, this is a dedication. And it's grown bigger and longer because you add more countries. But it's a time to give, and I honestly don't see it as it's work, and you end up. I have to be at camp in the morning. I have to be there all day, and it's just my nature, like it's something that you want to be a part of, So traveling through countries, borders. It's a lot, this time I got back and we did six countries, and I was like, wow, like you come back and you're a little tired, and you feel all that goes away because you know what has been given, and what has been received by this youth. And for me, I honestly don't see it as work. I just see it as a fun time, and almost even reflecting of growing up and giving opportunity to this youth.
And in the documentary, you greet all the players. Some kids don't get in. You talk to them, and I was watching it, and all the kids are looking at you, and they've got so much hope in their eyes. Does it ever get emotionally overwhelming? Because it's like they're looking at you like, this is my opportunity, but truth be told, only a handful are going to make it through or even make it to the NBA.
Well, that's the part where I don't sleep well, is the part that bothers me, because you know what? Those kids that don't get into camp because there are no more as many camps going on, like where they are seeking this opportunity. And that's what I want. I want this to come out where there's more opportunity, more camps. Other people can come and do more. When they grow, when they go and become basketball players or have careers, they can come back and do the same. And so it inspires more and more youth. I think that is so important, because I don't sleep at night when I think about the 50 kids, the 60, 100 kids that didn't get into camp because we don't have enough facilities, and we don't have big enough courts. I can only afford to get 50 kids because we have one basketball court. We have 3 to 4 days for camp. We're only given so much shoes, gear by our sponsors or by Nike. So you are limited in some kind of way, and that pains me a little bit, and it bothers me. And the challenge is, how do you get bigger and how do you make it bigger? And hopefully we live up to it and accept those challenges and go tackle them.
You are so successful, but in an interview in early September, you said that, and I quote, "I will never be a success if I don't bring the continent of Africa along." What does success look like for you then? And why is Africa so important to champion?
There has to be so many people that come behind me. If people continue talking about me as the first African GM or president in American sports. It doesn't, to me, it means nothing. It's almost, sometimes it's almost like an insult because they're saying, you know, I don't want to be the only one. You know, it bothers me because if I don't bring others along, then there's no success. I don't want to be the only one, you know. So I have to create a path, and that path is led by the youth. That path is me going and taking people back, taking coaches, taking all the resources, you know, like that I possibly can back home to. I don't forget about my day job. I know what my day job is, you know, and I know exactly what I have to do to help other youth in Africa. And I'll never be a success. I don't care what championships you win or whatever you do. If Africa does not grow in the game of basketball and the youth do not grow, I'm not successful.
But why is Africa so important to you?
I'm from there, you know. I grew up there.
But beyond that,
yes.
there's many people that come from like when I first moved to Canada, there was this idea that if you came from Africa, it was a place that you were ashamed of. You know, people were asking me, "Oh, did you live in trees?" And you know, "Did you have a pet lion?" That kind of ignorance. But you seem to champion it in a different way. That it's like, you know, that is who you are.
Oh, it's the best continent ever, you know, like
True.
but to me, everybody knows that, you know, like the resources, the growth, everything. You go there and business is growing, you know, whether it's real estate, whether it's banking, you know, everything, whether it's soccer, whether things are, you know, you can feel it, technology. It's really growing. And I don't know how long it's going to take, but I said it in the continent is going to be incredible. It's going to be like the new Western world at some point, you know, because if you look at it, everything that's in the Western world is coming slowly to Africa. First, we didn't have cell phones, and then we didn't have great real estate, or we didn't have cinemas, or we didn't have, and then all of a sudden it's coming and coming. At some point, everything is going to be there, and the passion for life that people have, the talent, the resources. We were talking about it the other day, whether it's Nigerian, African music and Nigerian music, the way it's booming around the world, people listen to. Nollywood, we just talked about this. Everybody's watching it, you know, and
even the technology from Pesa, like paying,
exactly,
using your cell phone to pay for bills.
Pay for bills. It's the biggest thing in Kenya, I think Uganda. Everybody is using it, and even some other countries don't know how.
In Europe they're starting to use it.
It's starting to use it, you know, like, so these things are really. I think are developing. So I'm not apologetic. I don't feel sorry. You know, like I don't look at Africa that way. I just feel the challenge that I'm a Nigerian, I'm an African, I'm diaspora, and I have to go back, and it's a responsibility, an obligation to go back and to help the youth and give back to that continent, because I grew up there. It's somewhere great, and people around the world have to know, you know, just like they know about Toronto, Canada, you know, people have to know.
And I wanted to talk to you about, you know, one of the greatest men that ever lived, and everybody knows him, Madiba, Nelson Mandela. Can you tell me the story of when you met him? I don't want to say it, but I think you could tell it better.
Well, Basketball Without Borders, what I just said on the show, that the basketball camp, I'm blessed that the NBA made me director of the camp. We go to South Africa every year, hold that basketball camp, and here I find myself in a unique situation because we have a chance to meet Madiba, and they're only choosing, I think it was like 6 people to go. And I don't know if they actually did like some kind of ballot or something, you know, and it ends up that I'm not going. And I remember Peter Babcock, he was, I think, assistant general manager or scout with the Atlanta Hawks. He said, "Oh, hold up. You know, these guys, he's from Africa, you know, he's been here. This is who he believes in, his hero, you know, like, I'm going to give him my spot to go." And wow, I was overwhelmed, and got there. I was walking right beside Mutombo, and we waited, and Madiba comes. We go to his house, and Madiba comes out, and wow! I'm telling you, you don't know. People say, people talk, you read, you see on TV. When he walks out, I'm telling you, the whole room went cold. You know, like you get these goosebumps. You know, like, and I've had that feeling twice. You know, like with Obama. And with Nelson Mandela, it's incredible. But he walks up to Dikembe Mutombo and he says, it's an unbelievable thing you're doing for your people in Africa. Don't stop.
Because he built a hospital?
Yes, because of his hospital he built in the Congo, and the work he does obviously on the continent is worldwide known, you know. And he looks at me and he says, that's an incredible smile you have. And I swear I didn't know what to do, you know. And the next time I met him again in almost like the same situation, does the same thing again, you know, and he's such a smart man, you know, it's incredible. And just to be around him a couple times, it moves you, you know, like, and it takes you to a place where you've dreamt. I was watching black and white TV with my dad, 11, 10 years old, whatever, and watching fire in Soweto, and watching my dad's reaction to everything that was going on in South Africa, apartheid, everything. And then I see, through growing up, this man in jail, see him released, read so much about him, followed him, and now you meet him. It's, to me, you know, I can't ask for, you know, it's life's education, right? That you can't buy anywhere.
If by some magic you could see him again, if he could meet you again, if he saw you, what do you think? What would you like for him to say about the work that you're doing?
Oh, you know, there's nothing really, you know, like, because we followed him, you know, like we follow him, you know. I feel that. He's blessed us, you know, and that was a blessing for me to meet him, you know, like, you don't have to, he really doesn't have to say anything to me. He taught me, you know, like, he taught me that you are selfless. You have to be selfless. You have to help other people. You have to in life. You have to help the next person, because you know what? It makes another person better, and it makes the world better. I wish more people were more like that.
And is that something that you're trying to impart to the players of Giants of Africa?
For sure. How about when we try to teach them leadership, you know, how about being a great follower? That could lead you to being a leader. How about you don't have to be the leader of your country, you don't have to be the president of the Toronto Raptors, you don't have to be even the president of your class in school. How about your little sister? How about your brother? How about your neighbor? You know, how about your best friend? How many people can you lift, you know, like, and even if it's just one person, I'm telling you, it could make a big difference, because it teaches that person to go lift another person. And that's what we try to teach these kids.
And Sadiq, who is one of the players that was featured in Giants of Africa, there's a part where you're talking to him about getting an education. What do you think he's gotten from being a part of the program?
You know, he's taken a step, you know, like, because now he's been exposed a little bit, you know, like, to people that I feel that in Giants of Africa love him, you know, like, and just feel a part of him. Everybody that they always ask me, where is Sadiq? What's Sadiq doing? You know, like, I feel that Sadiq feels that, you know, like, and to hear him talk about how the other campers affected him, you know, like, and how one day he wants to go back and help. And he wants to go past all the things that he went through. It's great to see, you know, like, and all these kids will be impacted. We have so many of them that come back to the camps, speak to the kids, whether they are bankers, whether they left Nigeria or whether they're still there. they do something strong, you know, like, and I hope it continues to inspire them that way.
Now, you didn't play in the NBA, but you played in Europe. I'm wondering, when you decided to stop, like, why did you decide to stop, and was it a difficult decision to make?
It wasn't because I wasn't very good. And not a very, very, very tough decision. It was the easiest decision ever because, one, I had to wait until every September. Everybody else had gotten a job, and it was the last remnants of jobs. And then my agent would call, and he's, yeah, okay, yeah, you can go to Belgium, or you can go to Denmark, or but at some point, no. It wasn't going anywhere, you know, I knew it. You're not making money, you're not getting better, you're getting older. I had to figure out a way to find something, find a niche. You know,
How did you do that? How did you strategize that?
I was lucky that I was made the junior national team coach in Nigeria. And so I started developing a liking to coaching and to scouting. And then all of a sudden I came to the States and I went to the NCAA tournament, and I'm talking to all these coaches and trying to help them help kids get to college. And I think it was Leonard Hamilton that asked me, head coach of Florida State, he asked me about the talent of a kid. And I found myself describing the talent. And all of a sudden I went home and I felt scouting, you know, like what about scouting, you know, like, and how can I get into this? And that's how I started chasing that dream of scouting, and then it led to other things, but I'm blessed, honestly.
Well, you've worn so many hats in your relationship with basketball. You a player, athlete, a player, coach, scout, president, general manager. Which role do you feel the most comfortable in?
I feel comfortable leading, you know, like, and I think sometimes I don't know if we're given, you know, or we learn to do it. But I honestly love leading, but I love scouting, you know, like I'm one of those that I'll go to Europe with our guys, and I'll sit in the gym and watch and feel good that, you know, nobody might know who I am. You can walk out of there, nobody cares, nobody knows, and you just go back to your hotel, and I sit with a couple of our scouts and we talk about what we have seen, you know, and or being in camps and watching all these guys and watching this talent, or traveling around the world, the excitement that you're going to land in this place and you're going to watch basketball, or you're going to meet basketball people. It's been such a huge education for me, and I'm so lucky.
What do you think is the most important thing that you've learned?
The most important thing I've learned by far is respecting other people's culture. I think to me, it's there's nothing like it. So sometimes a big chunk of what's wrong with the world is I go to Uganda and I need to change the way Ugandans are, or change what's going on there without even absorbing or even knowing what those people do, what they eat, you know, like what makes them tick, what's their passion, you know. And then all of a sudden we just feel, okay, there's trouble here, we need to go. Like, we need to respect other people's culture more. You know what? It's a way of life. Respect it, and, you know, maybe there are things that they don't do so well, and we figure out a way maybe that could be better. But I think I've learned so much that we're not all the same, you know. A person from Bismarck, North Dakota might not be the same as a person from Lagos, Nigeria, or from Kampala, or anywhere. But you know what? We all came from the same place, you know, and regardless of color of your skin, blue, pink, yellow, whatever, religion, anything, we're all human beings, you know, like, and you want to treat people how you want to be treated. I think that's what I've learned.
I want to bring the conversation back to the Raptors, and I want to show you a clip from Biombo from last year.
when you wag the finger after a block. Are you thinking of him? Is that move trademarked? Is it a license? You need to ask permission?
I mean, well, you know, I tell you what, the first time I saw him, he said, you know, I haven't give you the license for the finger. But at the same time, for me, it's just, you know, to keep his legacy going. Obviously, I've done great for this league, you know. And me as a kid growing up in the Congo, I had a chance to watch him. A few times that I saw him, he kept telling me that he hasn't given me the license, so I hope to get the license before the playoff.
See, when a lot of kids saw that, they were like, oh, this is great, he's creating. It's like, no. That's, you know, in an interview earlier this year, you said that you wished Hakeem and Dikembe were growing up or playing in this era. Why?
In this era of social media, you know, the internet, the crazy world where you can really like interact on a computer, on a phone, these guys just came through and they were not almost part of that, you know, like, and I always wonder what would happen with the game on the continent if these two played right now, you know, like, they were great. They're Hall of Famers. Both of them are Hall of Famers. And imagine what the reaction would be now for every little thing that they did. You know, like, it would inspire even bigger players to play, even taller players. But it's so, we're fortunate to have them as legends and Hall of Famers. But I really do wish they played now, you know, like, because I think it would have galvanized so much on the continent.
Let's talk about Canada. We the North. What does that mean to you?
We the North is who we are, the Toronto Raptors, you know, and we're proud of who we are, and we're not apologetic for being in Canada. We're not apologetic that it's cold here. We're not apologetic that we're the only NBA team that's outside the United States, and we're really, really proud to stand up and compete in the league because we believe we can win. That's what We the North is, and I think it starts from the brand on the court, and whether it's the organization, whether it's the fans, whether it's the following. To me, it's an incredible fever, you know, like, and more people get that fever every year, and I'm telling you, it's coming.
Well, I want to know, because I remember a time when players would like throw, you know, temper tantrums because they got drafted to Canada. What's changed?
Well, you know, I think we had to.
You notice I said drafted to Canada, drafted to Toronto Raptors. It is hard to.
Well, to me, that's the beginning there. You know, like, how do you identify that we're blessed to be like one team, one country?
Right.
Okay, so our following is totally different. We're global. We just have a different audience. How do you embrace that? You embrace that by those 4 lines. First of all, that has to be great. That culture has to be set. We have to play hard, and we have to find talent that's going to win. That's our part. And then for people to follow us, they have to respect us. You have to win. And you have to show them that you want to win. And I think when you do that, people love winning teams, you know, and I know I keep saying winning, but that's the only thing that gets you wherever you want to get to in sports. And I believe that. Now, you could go through stages, you could go through patches, you could go through, it could be games, it could be months, it could be years. As long as the goal is winning, you know, like, and everybody is doing their jobs and doing their jobs well, not crying about the cold or crying about, oh, this doesn't work, or crying about the taxes here, or those things that are well in other states and other places, but all of a sudden it gets amplified here. Well, you know what? Who cares? You know, like, I can care less about that. For me, it's all about winning, and we're lucky to be an NBA team in the NBA, and we're absolutely lucky to be in Canada because fans are great, people are great, resources are great. Like, we live in one of the best cities in the world. There's 4 or 5 professional teams. Everybody has their own fans, enough for everybody and more. What else do you want? You know, like, I don't want to mention cities, but I'd rather be here than a lot of places, you know.
And we have Drake. Hello.
We have Drake, you know. He's incredible. To have him, I'm so blessed to call him a friend. I'm telling you, you know, because people don't know that guy from the person you see, you know, like he's smart. He's such a good person, you know, and he's passionate about the Raptors. He's passionate about the game, you know, like good or bad, even during the down times, during the bad times, you know, like
does he give you any ideas?
He texts me, you know, like, and he does. He's very, and he's not intrusive. He's not one of those that, you know, like if you don't do this or if you don't do that. He's unbelievable, you know, because there's a reason why he's the best rapper in the world. He understands business, you know, like, and he understands how it works. And I'm so proud that I know him, and I can actually call him a friend, because he's more than what people actually see.
Does he give you free tickets?
I've never asked, but he anything that I want, you know, like Drake is always great, you know. He's no, but I don't ask, I just watch.
Well, I find it interesting that you call Toronto home. You could live anywhere, you could rent, but this is Toronto is home for you. Why? What is it about Toronto that connects with you?
Well, I don't want to be one of those that comes here and then, okay, I live in the summer, I go somewhere else in the summer, you know. That bothered me, you know, like, and then what am I coming to preach, you know, what am I coming to say? My 2 kids were born here, they're Canadian, you know, like, I'm so proud of that, you know, and I'm proud that I own my home here. I'm damn proud of that, you know. This is me, this is who we are, and I embrace it, you know, like, because I think you have to feel it, you know, like, you want people to feel it, and
that you're committed.
Yes, that you're committed, you know, and I feel sorry for the people of Toronto, because I'm telling you, like, they're gonna have to kick me out of this joint.
Well, speaking of, your contract has been extended.
Yes.
And now you're president. How does that change what you were doing before?
It doesn't change much. I think obviously Jeff and Bobby will have like more responsibilities, but I think it's still pretty much, I think, the same. You know, like, I wanted to get Jeff the opportunity to be a general manager and those responsibilities, and then Bobby a step up, Bobby Webster, to be assistant general manager, those responsibilities, stepping up a little bit. And but everything stays. I'll still scout the same. I'll still do the same things and get on everybody's nerves like I do, but still the same, you know. But I love it.
It's been such a pleasure to speak to you.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
So we'll see you at the finals?
Hey. This wood?
Touch wood. Is there wood somewhere?
Wood somewhere. Anywhere.
Thank you so much.
No,
and
thank
congratulations
you.
and everything.
Oh, thank you. This was great. This was awesome.
Pleasure.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Help TVO create a better world through the power of learning. Visit TVO.org and make a tax-deductible donation today.